You ever walk into a room like full of people you've never met and you suddenly just completely freeze up at the thought of having to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
totally.
how do you even begin?
I know what you mean. It's like this weird social anxiety thing we all kind of get hit with sometimes, you know? Like just that basic, hi, I'm so and so, suddenly feels impossible.
It's crazy, right? Because it is like such a simple thing on the surface.
Hmm.
But for some reason, it can feel so awkward and, I don't know, almost scary sometimes.
It is.
But it doesn't have to be that way, does it?
Definitely not. That's what we're going to get into today. How to make intros, not just painless, but actually a way to make a real connection.
Exactly. Like, make people remember you in a good way. So, for this deep dive, we're going to be looking at a YouTube video that breaks down the art of self-introduction. It's from the LEP Learn English podcast, and it's called How to Introduce Yourself, Your 8-Minute English Beginner.
Oh, I've seen that one. It's really good. Don't let the beginner thing fool you. There's some solid advice in there for everyone.
Seriously, there's stuff in there. Even I was like, oh, I should be doing that more. It's all about keeping things simple, natural, and engaging, which I think is key. They actually start off with this really good example of a natural introduction between two people, Lisa and Jake. They meet at some sort of event, and it just kind of flows.
Yeah, like how a normal conversation would, right?
Totally. They start with the usual nice to meet you, exchange names, the basics. Then Jake mentions that he recently moved to Seattle from Chicago.
And Lisa's like, oh, I live in Seattle too. And then they start talking about what they do for work. Lisa is in marketing, specifically social media and branding. And Jake is a software developer who works on web development.
And what I liked is that they don't just stop at the job title. They give a little more detail. Like Lisa says, she enjoys the creative side of marketing and connecting with people.
And Jake talks about how he likes making websites that look good and work well.
Yeah, it just adds that extra layer, right? It's not
Hmm.
just, I'm a this or I do that.
Makes them more interesting, more memorable, and it sets the stage for like a deeper conversation.
Totally. And then they actually get into asking each other about their work and show genuine interest, which is so important.
Yeah.
And of course, the conversation then goes beyond work, like they discover they both love hiking. They even mention specific trails like Rattlesnake Ledge and Mount Si, which I thought was a great touch.
Oh, definitely. It shows they're not just saying they like hiking to be polite, you know?
Yeah,
They're actually into it.
exactly. And then it turns out Lisa's a big baking enthusiast, specifically macarons.
Macarons, nice.
Yeah, right. Like, that's way more interesting than just saying, I like to bake.
Hmm.
And Jake is clearly impressed, a little jealous even. So they chat a bit more, exchange contact info, and wrap things up on a positive note.
It just felt so natural and effortless, didn't it? Like that's the kind of vibe you want to aim for when you introduce yourself. Not forced or rehearsed, just a genuine back and forth.
Exactly. So, anyone listening, think about your own experiences for a sec. What makes a good first impression for you? What makes you remember someone? Because the video then goes into a step-by-step guide based on that conversation for nailing that self-intro.
And these steps are like super practical. You can start using them right away.
Okay, so step one, keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Just start with your name, where you live, and what you do.
Like, hi, I'm Sarah. I live in New York and I work as a graphic designer. Simple as that.
Exactly. Straight to the point. No need to give your whole life story right off the bat. The video even suggests practicing saying these kind of intro sentences out loud, get comfortable with them.
Yeah, like a little rehearsal so it feels natural when you're in the moment.
Step two, body language matters. Now, this is huge GGE because it's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Totally. Like, are you smiling, making eye contact, standing up straight? You don't have to be like supermodel posing. Just be approachable, you know?
A genuine smile can really make a difference. It instantly puts people at ease. Step three is to adapt to the situation. This is so important because you wouldn't introduce yourself the same way at a party as you would, say, at a job interview, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like at a party, you could be more casual, maybe mention your hobbies or something you're into. Like, hey, I'm Alex. I'm really into hiking and always looking for new places to eat. Keeps it light and fun.
Right. But in a job interview, you'd want to highlight your skills and experience. Like, I have 5 years of experience in marketing, and I'm passionate about helping businesses grow. It's all about context.
Think about it. How would you introduce yourself to your boss versus someone you meet at the gym? Totally different vibe.
Step four is be memorable.
Hmm.
Add something that makes you stand out a bit. Like, instead of just saying, I'm Alex, you could say, I'm Alex, and I'm on a mission to bake the perfect macaron.
Haha. I love that. Makes you like Macaron Alex. People will remember that.
Exactly. It sparks curiosity, makes people want to ask you more about it, and it just makes you more interesting, more than just a name.
It's like that saying, people will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. A unique intro makes you feel more real.
Okay, step 5 is confidence is key.
Huh.
And this doesn't mean you have to be like the loudest person in the room.
It's more about being comfortable in your own skin,
Yeah, just be yourself, speak clearly, and don't rush. The video actually says that pauses are okay.
Oh, yeah. Way better than just filling the space with, or like every 2 seconds.
And they make a great point that people are generally way less judgmental than we think they are. Like everyone's kind of in the same boat, just trying to connect.
And the more you practice introducing yourself, the more confident you'll become.
It's like anything. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Now, here's the last tip, and it's a big one. Keep the conversation going. The introduction is just the start, right? You want to keep things flowing.
Right. Don't just drop your intro and then go silent. Ask the other person questions like, what about you? What do you like to do for fun?
Exactly. Show genuine interest. Find common ground. Avoid those awkward silences. The goal is to turn that introduction into a real conversation, maybe even a friendship or a professional connection.
Make it two-way street,
The video wraps up by saying that the best introductions are the ones that lead to more meaningful interactions. It's not just about saying who you are, it's about starting something.
I love that. It's like opening a door to possibilities.
Okay, so to recap, keep it simple, use good body language, adapt to the situation, be memorable, be confident, and keep the conversation going.
Easy peasy.
Seriously, it's not rocket science. Now, there are also some really useful phrases highlighted in that Lisa and Jake conversation that are worth mentioning.
Oh, yeah, those were good. Like work as, which is a nice, clear way to describe your job. Like I work as a graphic designer at a marketing agency. Simple and informative.
Right. And then there's come up with, which means to think of an idea or solution. It shows you're proactive and creative. Like, I love coming up with new marketing strategies.
Play a huge role is another good one, to emphasize something's importance. Like social media plays a huge role in modern marketing.
Experiment with is great for talking about trying new things, like Lisa's macarons. I've been experimenting with different flavors. Makes you sound adventurous, right?
And of course, keep in touch. Classic way to suggest staying connected after you meet someone.
Simple phrases, but super effective in making your conversations flow better. So that's our deep dive on self-introductions. Hopefully you all feel a bit more equipped to handle those first encounters now.
Just remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being yourself. A little bit of personality goes a long way. Like, imagine how different that conversation would have been if Lisa just said, I like to bake. Macarons, that's what made her stand out.
Totally. So go out there, introduce yourself to someone new. You never know what kind of awesome connection you might make. It could be a new friend, a business partner, or just a really cool person you wouldn't have met otherwise.
And think about this. Every time you introduce yourself, you're opening yourself up to new possibilities and experiences. It's kind of exciting when you think about it that way. So be open to those possibilities and see where a simple hello might take you.
Love that. Well said.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.